Special member request. We have one of my favorite bands, Drab Majesty. This is Not Just a Name. And even though, he's probably got this, I know he's got this kind of capo action going on, and he may very well be in some special tuning. I just arranged this for an E standard tuning just to try to make it easy and accessible, and found everything I needed. So for this intro section here, we're just going, you can do it with the bass notes or not. It's up to you, however complex you want to be with it. It's nice to kind of have the bass accompaniment there. But we based around initially in this kind of C vibe. So you can hit the 3A for that bass note, and then we just pick through this 3B, 2E, 3B, 3E. So and for the effects, clean, but then we just put on like some nice chorus and like a 450 millisecond delay, just kind of at a, halfway level there. So just play around with that. And so we're picking through that, the 3B, 2E, 3B, 3E. Okay, based in that C note at the 3A. Okay, and then it'll shift over to a D, and with this we want to hit the open D, and we slide up to the 7G, 7B, 7G, and then a 5E. And then we just pick through that G, B, G, E string. Okay, 7, 7, 7, 5. Okay, repeat those two little riffs again, and at the end of the first run of the intro and the bridge, once we get to that second time around with the D, okay, pick through it a couple times just like that, but then we do a little different picking at the end. We go 7G, 5B, 7G, 5B, 7G, 7B, 7G, 5B, 7G. So just like a little transitional bit at kind of the end of that first run of the intro and bridge. And the second part, everything stays the same, but kind of once we get to that second time through, instead of going to a D, now we go to an A. Okay, so we just hit the open A, but we kind of use some of the same notes. Like we'll hit the 7G, 7B, 7G, but then throw in like a open high E. Pick through that just like that a couple times. And we do this little bit where we go on the G string, we go 7, 6, 7, open high E, 7G, 7B, 7, 6, 7 on the G. So into the verse, come off to an open low E. Okay, and we'll stay on the B and E strings. We go 3B, open high E, 3B, 2 high E, 3B, open high E, 3. So it's okay. Then we move to a G. And this is kind of a funky spot here because we're going to need some stuff behind the bass note and a little up high here. So like I said, if you want to include the bass note, it's a little more advanced, but if not, don't worry about it. You can just hit the high stuff if you already have bass accompaniment. So like I said, hit that 3 bass note there on the G. Okay, and then on the B string we go 3, 2, 3, and then you want to come over and hit a 5 on the high E. So a little bit of a stretch, and then back to the 3, 2, 3 on the B. Okay, hit that 3 on the E again, and then pick through 2, 2, 2 on the G, B, and E string. All right, go through the E section again, and then that first half of the G section, but instead of, just wrapping it up with the, then we can come up high, hit the 7, and then do the 2, 2, 2. Into the chorus section, start at the G, here at the 3 on the E. Okay, picking through that in the 3B, back to it, 3B again, come down, hit the 2 high E back to the 3B. Off to a E, open low E, go 3B, 5 high E, open, 2. Okay, into this B position, so we hit the 2A, and then basically bar it, because we're going to do 2B, back to the 2A, 2B, 2 high E, 2B. Okay, off to an open D string, and then 2, B, 2 high E, open, 3B. Alright, and repeat the whole thing all the way up until we hit that D note, but instead of hitting a D note there, now the second time through we hit an open A, but we finish with that same little 2B, 2E, open, 3B. Okay, so the whole thing just stays the same, but that little alternating D or A bass note at the end switches. And the outro section here, start with the open A string, open high E, once again, and then 2 open. Okay, to an open low E. Okay, open high E, 7. Couple opens again, back to the 7B. Okay, into the C position here at the 8 on the low E. Then we go 8 on the B, once again to 10, and then 11G. Okay, zip down here, we go to G at the 3 on the E, and basically just bar it, because we'll want to hit this 3B twice again. Move it down a fret, so we hit the G flat here at the 2, low E, and then a couple 2s on the B. Okay, a little kind of walk down transition there. And we would do the whole thing again, but instead of doing an A for the first bass note, we do a D. Okay, that's the one thing that changes. Okay, so first time through, we'll hit the open A. Every other time, we'll hit the open D at that very first bass note there.